Our NBC News investigation, in conjunction with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, took a closer look at one kind of hip implant that's caused a world of pain and why some critics say it could have been prevented. Olympic gymnast Mary Lou Retton was once one of America's greatest athletes, but the sport left her needing a hip replacement. At 37, she became the face of a new metal-on-metal implant called the Biomet M2A.
And thanks to Biomet, I'm not living with pain anymore.
Now, Retton is among 2,000 patients that have filed suit against the company. She alleges the implant caused her physical harm, and the company knew it was defective. Very similar to what Andrew Chappell, a young father of 4, says he experienced.
It was just so frustrating. It made me so angry.
His doctor discovered severe damage to his bones and metal from the implant in his blood at a level 100 times higher than normal.
It's been linked to stuff like heart problems and neurological problems, so I was very scared.
What Chappell didn't know is that well before he found out the device was causing harm, Biomet quietly discontinued it without informing U.S. patients. Then in 2015 and 2016, 7 countries issued safety warnings about the M2A. But that's not what the FDA did here in the U.S. The FDA says 2 months before Chappell's surgery, it issued a safety communication about the metal-on-metal category of hip implant. But unlike those other countries, it never issued a warning about the specific Biomet device. Jack Mitchell previously oversaw special investigations for the FDA and now is a director at the National Center for Health Research. He's critical of how many medical devices, including the Biomet M2A, are cleared by the FDA.
I think for the average patient, they think if there's an FDA seal of approval on a drug or a medical device, then that means it's perfectly safe under any and all circumstances, and that's simply not true.
An NBC analysis found at least 5 devices where other countries issued safety warnings, but the FDA never did the same, including a knee implant with a high failure rate and a pregnancy test that gave false results. A key difference? How countries monitor device safety. The FDA has what's called an adverse event database, where manufacturers, doctors, and patients can report injuries. But critics say the system is too slow.
And it sometimes takes them months, if not years, to discern that there is a major problem that requires action.
But other countries are more proactive, like Australia, which keeps special registries to track the outcome of 100% of joint implants, including hips. Experts say that kind of system allows regulators to spot problems more quickly and immediately get the word to doctors and patients.
What might be allowed or approved in Europe or recalled is not necessarily the same as what FDA will do, and there could be legitimate reasons for that. But I think we have to get these adverse event systems uniform enough that when there is a pattern that our FDA can take action.
Biomet did not respond to questions, but said in a statement, "We adhere to strict regulatory standards and work closely with the FDA and all applicable regulatory agencies in each of our regions." This year, Chappell underwent 2 complex surgeries to remove the Biomet hips and repair the damage. He has filed a lawsuit against the company, alleging that his injuries could have been avoided.
And I could have gotten them out sooner, and that would have saved me 3 years of pain and suffering.
About 400 lawsuits remain pending against Biomet regarding the M2A hip, including Chappell's, as well as its former spokeswoman, Mary Lou Retton. Retton declined to comment for our story. In the midst of our reporting, the FDA has announced that it plans to revamp both the clearance process and the way it monitors safety after a medical device is on the market.
Well, that's encouraging. Stephanie, thank you for the story. Appreciate it.